Hello everybody and welcome back to the Coffee Club, the revamped and bigger and better Coffee Club. Nothing's changed.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. But we may have different graphics if Thaf can be bothered.
Yep.
So hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to the club. We have coffee. Well, I have coffee. Thaf has no coffee.
I have Fanta.
He has Fanta.
Yeah.
What do you get in the other one? He's got.
I've got Fanta and ice.
We do this thing where we literally order McDonald's, but we don't order any food. We just order
the drink.
Literally, I feel so sorry for the drivers because they must be like, "Fuck's sake, dude!" And these cunts again.
Yeah,
aren't
no, it's like Uber Eats. They look at the notification and they have to ask for 2 drinks, please.
It's like they must not even make any profit on that shit, dude. Like,
yeah, it's like it would literally cost me like £5.
Yeah, for real.
Like no profit whatsoever.
But so we've basically, obviously this whole podcast has been based around films, but we kind of want to ironically we are talking about films.
Yeah.
But we kind of want to just in general not force ourselves to just go into just one topic. That's probably why we didn't upload for so long. Because we probably should actually address that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because we were, I think, busy is an understatement because we all had stuff that we were doing behind the scenes that caused us to not record a single episode.
I swear to God, we recorded one with Alex.
We recorded one. Okay, so I have the file for the E3 recording with Alex, but
E3, when was that?
That was June.
So we were going to make a comeback.
Yeah, we were going to make a comeback for June.
Alex.
I was going to be with Alex, and stuff happened, and things got kind of weird. So
I wonder what that was.
Yeah,
I wonder what that was.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah, it didn't happen. But yeah, so I think I didn't have the file. I tried to find it. During the time where everything was going on, I didn't have the file. I found it, but then I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't upload this one. So
minus 50,000 subs later, here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying this in as flat. We're recording this with a setup. I feel like a snake.
Yeah,
a slivery snake. Bloody hell. Jesus Christ. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to the thing. A lot of stuff has happened. Like, to be fair,
we avoided a shooting.
We successfully avoided it. I avoided it 3 times in a single day.
I'm surprised you haven't got a fucking Nobel Peace Award.
Yeah, exactly. Just I get knighted by the Queen for
avoiding shit. So basically, do you want to explain your daring story?
Yeah, we watched a film called The Joker. It was
called Joker.
Oh, not The Joker. It was Joker. Okay, you got me there. But yeah, we went to watch Joker, and I'd seen it twice already in the same day before going to watch it with Fraser and James.
And Aria.
Yeah, and Aria. Yeah, at the same time, and it was like, I remember the first time, a day before.
Were you a little bit scared?
Just a little bit scared.
Like I was. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck me. The meter have got into my head.
I posted a joke about it saying I'm fucking shitting myself. But I was like, I was like, it's a big good joke. But in the back of my mind, I was like, what if something actually happens?
Yeah.
I was like, in the back of my mind, I was wondering if what could happen. As in, security is okay at Westfield, but anything could really happen. What if someone comes
Realistically, though, do you think the people of Westfield would want to emulate? It seems more of an American thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an American thing.
Americans are just fucking nuts. I don't feel like anyone in what is it, West London?
East London. It's East London. Yeah,
as far as even bigger. I mean, West London maybe people would. I mean, we don't trust white people, man. They're fucking crazy. But East London, I feel like a bit more chill. I don't feel like anyone's going to be re-emulating Joker shootings.
I'm not even shootings in general. I just meant anything mischievous because that actually happened on my second viewing of the Joker before I went to watch it with you guys.
What happened?
Alright, so the first screening of Joker went fine. No hitches whatsoever. I enjoyed the film and I went home.
Second one, the guy fucking walked in. He has his backpack on. He fucking released, everyone had to get down. He fucking released the bomb.
I had to jump down to row 6. But yeah, so I went to watch it with Reese, Hyojin and Elliot, and we went to the O2, the one at North Greenwich. We went to watch it in the Cineworld because we were originally going to watch it at Westfield again, but all the seats were taken because it was open. It was a day after the opening night of the film, so no seats were available. I remember they kept procrastinating and they were like, "Oh, we could order it later." I was like, "No, we should do it now." And I
hate people that do that.
Yeah, I clutched the tickets at the Cineworld. They were at the front, but I didn't care because I got the ticket. So
that's the worst place to sit.
I know, but it was like 4 rows back. So
you tried sitting at the front in the BFI.
Yeah, no,
you can't even.
you
watch
can't see it. Yeah, you have to crane your neck up. You'd break it or something.
We saw. I mean, to be fair, we were sat where we were sat during Captain
Marvel. Yeah,
but
when
we
watched
were
it there.
more to the center. I mean, I'm pretty sure we may have been in a different screen.
No. There's only one screen at BFI.
Really?
IMAX, and it's that screen. The BFI IMAX is that one screen.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's like that. We sat there for the third screening, but in the second one we were.
Maybe it's because we weren't wearing 3D glasses.
That is true, but yes,
I hate 3D.
yeah. So it was the four. We were 4 rows back, and at the end of it, like throughout the whole film, I remember looking over, and everyone had there was literally see people were tight in their seats because the film was tense. Like the film was really tense, but also for some reason Hyojin had that really fear in the back of her head that something was gonna happen. So after
Jesus,
I don't know why I was like, oh, this must be this is the foreign. This is your mind on foreign. But yeah, it was so we finished watching the film and we went out of the cinema as fast as possible. We just sped walk out of the cinema, and then we go down to the Five Guys next to the cinema.
Yeah,
you go downstairs to the Five Guys. There was someone trashing the Five Guys, throwing chairs and throwing chairs around and dumping the potatoes on the ground while laughing like a maniac and speaking gibberish.
Seriously.
Straight after the Joker screening, we saw that and there was a crowd of people. So then we were like, oh dear, we probably shouldn't be here anymore. The guy ran outside the Five Guys and then was pushing the security guards around and then ran outside the O2. We ended up catching up to him by we were walking out. We caught up to him and he was pinned to the ground. He was trying to fight 2 security guards outside the O2.
Fuck?
And they pinned him down while he was shouting, shouting and laughing. He was clearly drunk, but
it was fucking jokes.
I know, we were oh my goodness, this is actually the Joker, because we were joking about how it was someone's gonna reenact the Joker, saying oh, you get what you fucking deserve and everything. And then we just saw someone doing that while laughing like a maniac, and then getting tackled by security guards while laughing as well. And we thought, you know what, best thing to do was film it. So
you filmed it.
I think Hyojin filmed it.
It's not illegal.
Well, it is. Well, I don't know. We didn't get arrested, so I'd say.
Where is this leading to?
This is around the. Oh, so this is.
No, where is the story going?
No, the story is just going that Joker. This is my second screening of the Joker, and I thought that I was genuinely gonna shit was going down, and then it was the guy was just pinned down by all these security guards, and I was we were straight after the viewing of the Joker, and I was worried in the back of my mind. I was oh my god, I'm gonna be seeing the Joker again in a few minutes. So
yeah, because you saw it with them, and then an hour later.
Yeah, I came. I went straight over to watch it with you guys. Because
how many times have you seen it? 6 times?
Actually, ironically, I've only seen 4 times.
Seriously?
I only saw it once after the day.
It's one of those films though where you need a lot of
multiple
you need that mental energy to sit through that.
Yeah, because
I haven't
it was
even seen it a second time yet. I will.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's just to sit for a film like that, because it's it's a fucking it's just a
intense. It's it messes with you.
It's one of the most intense films I've seen in a long time, genuinely, and it's just a little bit unsettling at some points.
That's the word. It was unsettling because for me watching it the second time, because by the time this comes out, then spoilers, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, that one scene where the Joker kills the 3 guys in the subway.
That was really when I saw it, I was for some reason it kind of shocked me, and I don't usually get shocked.
Elliot jumped at the gunshot.
Yeah.
It was I was really that scene because
what I thought was going to happen was he's going to get beat the fuck out of, and then he would go home and he'd lose his mind. But no, he lost it there.
And I wouldn't even say lost it. That first one was self-defense. He remembered that because when Randall
he enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think he enjoyed it.
He found it funny.
I think I wouldn't even say funny.
I think the idea was he found it funny because they were trying to kill him, but he killed them.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I was I thought that was shock at the first time because he literally didn't really find it funny. He kind of de-stressed himself out by pretty much just slow dancing in the bathroom, and then afterwards he started to his mental state started to deteriorate more after the fact when people start to see him as clowns and everything, or when Thomas Wayne called him a coward and everything. Yeah. But I felt that scene in the subway, that was. I think what got me was the fact that the music was really loud and it was really tense, and then the gunshot happened, and I was like, wait, what?
Audio balancing, it sounds like really technical, but the audio balancing in the film was really good.
Yeah.
It's something I fucking notice in every film. When there's like shit audio balancing,
I will notice
even in a YouTube video, I cannot watch it.
Yeah, it's unwatchable afterwards, and I just noticed how well the soundtrack and the score worked well with all the stuff that was going on. Like, again, I'd hate to like hop on the subway scene, but like, I think the first gunshot was what got me good, because I was like, wait, that guy just got shot.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's the flickering lights as well. You only notice that like it takes you about half a second for your brain to register that there's blood on the doorknob and that guy just got shot.
Yeah.
And then he actually went out to shoot the other guy as well. Like, I think the first one was self-defense. That was clearly self-defense. Like, they were going to kill him. And then the other two, that was execution.
Yeah.
I think people would have claimed that it was self-defense had he not gone the whole way and actually ran for the guy. Because remember, the guy was like pointing it, and it was like, that was one thing I liked about the film, was the realism as well. Some of the realism with some of the actors, like in the scene halfway, I think near to the end, where he's dressing up as a Joker and he kills Randall. Like, he kills the fat guy, and the midget is like, he's like, crying and screaming. Yeah. That was realistic acting, as in people thought it was like dark comedy, which it is, but I felt that was like harrowing the first time I saw it, because I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
And he just lets him go.
Yeah, that is the part. People in the cinema were like,
because I think it was because he was actually nice.
He was nice. He was the only person that was nice to him.
Yeah.
In the whole film, apart from the woman that he had hallucinated, that was the only person that was nice to him. The whole film.
His mom was bullshitting him.
Yeah, and it was like, I remember watching that film and I was like, I like the path for the fact that the director left everything up to guess in the last 20 minutes of the film.
It's the whole point of the Joker, though, doesn't it? It's like the famous line in The Killing Joke is like, I prefer my backstory to have multiple choices.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. So
and it was like,
it's like the whole point of the Joker is you're not meant to know his origin, and everyone was like, "Oh no, they were actually gonna have an origin."
But we're gonna give it an origin,
but we didn't actually get an origin.
They didn't get an origin. Yeah. That I'd say that is decent enough as a standalone film.
It's close enough to the origin you're ever gonna get.
Yeah,
really.
and also, I think close enough to the origin, and it's good enough as a standalone film to the point that I don't want any continuation from it whatsoever.
I'm thinking about it, I don't want a Joker 2, and also there doesn't need to be one. Because the whole point, the only reason you need a Joker film is because you need to... See, this is the thing people don't get about villains. The reason villains are so compelling is because you don't see them constantly. Yeah. The only time that's ever worked, I think, is with Thanos. Yeah. Because he had a very different storyline.
And you never saw him at all for 7 years before he started appearing.
So there was a whole 7 years that needed to explain it, of what the fuck this guy was doing. Yeah. Whereas the Joker is like, he's an anarchist, pretty much. Like, he doesn't have any message. He just likes
chaos.
Yeah, because it's funny.
And the thing is as well, people are saying, oh, we need Joker this, Joker that. Yes, I guess he makes money, but do you know how big Batman's rogues gallery is?
And also, it's like, people are like, the people are like, oh, this is really good for the industry. It's doing really well. Fuck Marvel. And then I'll be like, but let's get a Joker 2. No, that's the whole point. You don't want a sequel.
You don't want a sequel to that film.
That's what damages the industry.
Yeah, because everyone seems to think that, oh, we have a very good film that ended well. Can we have a continuation, please?
I mean, it happens in a lot of films. Like, some films don't need trilogies. Like Spider-Man, for example. Yeah. I mean, I get that I understand why there was a Spider-Man 3, but it was still like the worst of the trilogy. And if it ended on Spider-Man 2, I would have been happy.
If it was just those two films, then people would have said that would have been like the greatest two films in superhero history.
Yeah, I mean, there's only very few trilogies that really work. Like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings,
is
of course.
A complete that's a natural one though. There needs to be three.
And also,
films.
it's got the source material required it.
But they look at The Hobbit. They saturated the fuck. I don't know. Yeah. I genuinely cannot name a series more saturated. Maybe the Crimes of Grindelwald fucking bullshit.
Oh well, Harry Potter. Well, no, Harry Potter in general, the Wizarding World.
I mean, the first 7 films.
Yeah, well, of course, because they're based on the books. But like,
if there's 7 fucking books, 7 movies.
Yeah, well, eight
maybe
movies.
even 9 movies.
I know
what I'm saying. Like, maybe you could make two.
You could make like 2 parts. Yeah.
Maybe the 6th film should have been 2 parts.
Yeah, because that one there was a lot of stuff in that book.
Or maybe,
that, you know.
I'd say. I was going to say maybe the 5th one, but the thing is with the 5th one, it's like there's a lot of unnecessary
needless padding.
Shit.
Yeah, that was like I remember at the time when I was reading it, when I saw the book, and I was like 729 fucking pages. Fucking hell.
So long.
Yeah, but it was like, I think in terms of films like that working, sequel, you don't need a sequel because, you know, I think The Dark Knight Rises was an example where it was like, that sequel
You didn't need, I don't think you needed a trilogy for The Dark Knight.
Warner Bros. Wanted it. Nolan didn't. Nolan said that Nolan wanted to make Inception, and I'm pretty sure Warner Bros. Said, you can make Inception, but you have to make The Dark Knight Rises after.
I think The Dark Knight was a perfect ending because it was like, where the Joker was like, we're destined to do this forever and ever.
Yeah,
and if
also
it ended on that, it would be like, the Joker and Batman are going to do this forever and ever.
And also, it ended with the fact that Batman was seen as a vigilante, like, it was seen as a vigilante now.
But then it ended up he was the hero.
Yeah, he was like the hero where they unveiled the statue and everything. I felt okay, good ending.
It was a good ending, but if anything, it kind of takes away from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, because the whole thing was like he's a Dark Knight.
Yeah,
like, that's the whole point. It even ends with that thing.
Like,
and if it ended there,
he's not a Dark Knight Rising in the third film. He's a White Knight Rising.
Well, yeah,
he's like, everyone loves him.
Yeah, everyone loves him, and the fact that it wasn't. I wouldn't say rises anymore because he didn't really, as in he had a fall, but like
I think the rise was coming out the hole.
Yeah, but even then I was like, it was just, you know,
it's not a bad film.
It's not a bad film. It's like, it's flawed. It's funny as fuck, but like
there's a lot of. I mean, I feel like a lot of superhero. You could say Spider-Man 2 is flawed.
Yeah, I know, but I'd say Dark Knight Rises. There was a lot of problems with that film. As in, there's a lot of problems that people. It's not like, oh, it's subjective. I think no, there were moments where it's like, that's kind of shit. Like, and it's also, it's a problem with Nolan's directing is that he can't direct loads of extras at once. You see this in The Dark Knight and you see this in The Dark Knight Rises. He can't do action as much as other people can.
Also, like, in Nolan's defense, I don't think he's really that used to directing trilogies.
He's never used to. He only did like standalone films. I think the only ones, The Dark Knight is the only one where he was working on more than one film in a series.
It's a really weird anomaly in his career. Yeah. Like, it's like so weird. Like, he has these individual masterpieces. I'm not saying it's not a masterpiece, but like it's like masterpiece.
Individual like 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10 films, and then a trilogy. And it was
I think Batman Begins is an underrated film.
I'd say underrated because people seem
it's better than The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, because I see. It's because the continuity between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight was so fucking weird.
Because I didn't know Batman Begins linked onto The Dark Knight until 2014.
Like, I remember watching it for the first time because they had like Sky Movies had the thing where it was like all the 3 films are there at the same time, like back to back. Yeah. And when you watch it immediately after, you're like, wait, hang on a second, this wasn't there last time. Yeah. Where's Rachel in the first one? Because they recast Rachel for The Dark Knight, and they moved the location of Gotham from filming in New York, I believe, to Chicago, and you can tell as well.
Yes,
so it's like, dude. And they did New York because they did the Joker. Gotham in Joker was New York.
They also made Gotham a pretty rich place, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. In the films, but that's one thing. That's one thing Joker did right. Oh yeah, Joker. Yeah, God.
Gotham is a shithole.
See, this is what I think. Even Shazam did this right of the city. Yeah. Because it like, I feel like this is something a lot of superhero films don't do when they like. It's also what Spider-Man: Homecoming did well too. Yeah. When you have characters which aren't characters, like just random civilians interacting, and like you see the actual life ongoing on the street,
and it feels real.
Yeah, because that's why I like Homecoming compared to Far From
that's
Home.
why I'm like, I like
it's like, you see Spider-Man being Spider-Man and speaking to New Yorkers. Joker, you see men like citizens of Gotham.
Yeah, and you see them living in a fucking shithole as well. Yeah.
And then Shazam, it's like it's a bland American city, but you see the Americans interact with Shazam and stuff.
And it's also it gives it character. Well, I'd say it gives the cities life and character because
therefore that gives the main character.
Exactly, because when I think what messed me up about the Joker was that how it was like he was like, you know, people joke about the we live in a society thing, but he was living in a society in that film because it was like, I remember I felt really bad about all the people there. Like in the very beginning of the film, you know how he was like twirling around that sign and then he got mugged in the 5 minutes into the film, and I was like, this is the kind of place he lives in. Yeah. Like, this is what he has to deal with. And then you see the state of his back when he's like getting ready for the second day, and you see all the marks there. And I was like, people in the second viewing, people in the cinema were like, oh, you can hear like murmuring in the cinema because you're like, Joaquin Phoenix, he made that film. So I'm in terms of like actor nominate, I think Joaquin Phoenix is definitely one to watch because it's like,
surely he should win it.
No, because it's going to be very, very tight. This is probably the tightest year for best actors or anything.
And isn't Robert Pattinson about to have like a big film.
Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. People don't know which one is going to be which for which, how they're going to submit
I would like it to be Pattinson, to be fair.
I would like it to be Pattinson for a nomination, but Pattinson could get
When does that film come out?
The poster came out today. I think it comes out in about 2 to 3 weeks or in November.
A Nolan film, yeah.
Or the Nolan film? No. Nolan film's 2020.
Oh no, what am I thinking of?
Oh, The Lighthouse, that horror film with Willem Dafoe. Yeah, it was like, I think in terms of acting performances, there's so many things out this year.
I think Phoenix will win it.
No, I don't think so. The Irishman came out this year. Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino. People, according to reviews, people say Pacino, this is his like career best.
I don't know. I just feel like it would be. I feel like if it doesn't win it, there's gonna be backlash.
Yeah, well, I'd say, but people are gonna say if he at least gets nominated, you could see that, like, the Joker. I think that'll become.
Imagine if he doesn't get nominated.
If it does, it's gonna be. I think that's why there's loads of. Remember how many submissions there are for Best Actor? I swear there's like loads of entries. So he should at least get one, because that performance in Joker was really good. That was like, man, that was deterioration at its finest.
It's the most. It's not a superhero film. It's not a.
It's a psychological thriller.
It's just and it's like, it's why I don't get why people keep comparing it to Endgame. It's like, I personally enjoyed, as a film, personal enjoyment, Endgame more than, but I don't see how anyone couldn't if you're like a big Marvel fan, because you can't compare a 10-year wrap up to a standalone
film that was marketed as an original one and did numbers because it has the Joker IP on it.
Yeah, Endgame has so much behind it. It's like, it obviously, if people, I mean, as a film, I get why people would think Joker is better.
Yeah.
As a film, but I personally would rather watch Endgame.
But the thing is, that's the one thing I never understand. When you compare something, it's like going into the curry store and comparing a fridge with a laptop.
Yeah.
You can't do that on the store. It won't let you, because there's nothing to compare.
Yeah, realistically, what is there? Joker, a man who is being beaten up by society, and then Endgame, a massive purple bloke with
a purple grape,
space fucking jewels, who wants to destroy Earth and
does it as well, and they're trying to reverse it, and it's a time travel film. Like, you can't compare them both.
Time travel film, society, like put them next to each other. It's like
you just look at it and it's like it's like a 2-hour character study versus a 3-hour blockbuster event.
Literally. It's, if you compare Endgame and Joker, I think you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I think you are genuinely a fucking moron.
Because
like,
it's like,
you can say in terms of like cinematography and stuff.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Or enjoyment as well.
So I think cinematography, score, and in personal enjoyment, I think that the only things you can really
and even
compare.
then, like, I think score might be a bit like there and there, because a score for a blockbuster event will always be like compared with
and that's Endgame had a fucking unreal score.
It had an unreal score, but then it was like, that's par for the course for the Avengers.
Yeah.
Joker is a standard. Joker is like it's a standalone film, and it has to set its tone already. It has to set an original tone. Yeah, so
it's just. Please I can get people maybe comparing Star Wars to Avengers. That's like, fairly, similar to a degree.
Yeah.
But it's literally like me saying, what's better, Inception or Avengers Age of Ultron? It's like they're literally different genres.
It's like you could compare Logan to Joker, but you can't compare, like, because Logan and Joker were both similar character studies that wrapped up a franchise that were like...
To put it into another concept, say, what's better, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets or Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
it sounds stupid.
It's so fucking wrong. There are no superpowers in Joker. There are no superhero elements. Maybe there's like a little hint to Batman, but it's a kid. There's no
Megatron in like Joker. Giant robots.
It's literally a film about society. It's what he said. Todd Phillips literally said it was a character portrayal on mental health.
Yeah,
and it had the Joker gloss over it, so it could sell.
Over it. Yeah, exactly. The Joker was put over it. Just slap it on. It makes money. And make money is what it's doing at the moment.
Yeah,
because I think as of recording right now, it's at $560 million on the second weekend.
Mental.
To put that in perspective, on a PG-13 film, on a film that's released like widely, like Avengers or something, that would be insane.
To put it in perspective, it's doing better than Spider-Man was doing, I'm pretty sure. Spider-Man Homecoming especially. It's not even released in China.
It's not released in China, and it's R-rated.
Yeah.
It's like it had everything going against it.
I noticed this week that R ratings and Deadpool have been talked about way more since of this thing.
Yeah.
And I think, is that a coincidence of Disney being like, oh, Disney maybe our ratings aren't that bad?
Disney. I think the problem is you won't see Disney doing it. Like you'd never ever see Disney doing it. Every time, like people say, oh, but what about the other R-rated films they released? No, Disney never released them. They put them on another label to release them.
But they can still feature in the MCU.
They could feature in the MCU, but it's like other level. I think other labels like.
Do you know what this means though?
What?
We could get Venom as an R-rated with Tom Holland in it, with a Sony label over it.
That is true. That is true. But
R-rated Spider-Man. That would be so weird, and I almost don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it because
that's
the problem is Spider-Man is something that's marketed for kids and everything.
And it should be. It should be.
As in, it's like everyone's like saying get R-rated everything, but you need to think about it. It's something that needs an R rating.
Like we're adults and we like seeing R-rated films, but we got to remember there are still kids out there. Yeah. And at the end of the day, superhero films are marketed for children.
Yeah, and I think it's not even just that; it's films in general, like films and cartoons in general.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly. Like when people, I think a bit off topic, but when people comment on something saying like, "Oh, this cartoon didn't portray mental health in this weird and intense way, therefore it's bad."
Yeah,
you need to think about. You are like a 27-year-old man that's reviewing a cartoon that was made for 13 years younger than you are.
Were you thinking about this when you were watching Codename Kids Next Door?
Yeah, exactly. Were you thinking about this? No, you weren't thinking about this. Like, all these people are watching it with hindsight saying, oh, I didn't catch this when I was younger. Fair enough, but like...
People need to understand that films and cartoons and shows for kids don't need to be character studies.
As in, they
can be, and there are a few where they are. What was that cartoon from ages ago where they were really there was like lots of underlying messages about gay rights? I can't remember what it was.
I actually can't remember that one either.
Adventure Time, was it?
It wasn't Adventure Time. That's not a while ago because that ended recently.
But I swear something happened in that. So there was
because in the final episode there was like what's it called, like I think was it Princess Bubblegum? I'm pretty sure, but they did have a kiss in the last episode, and people were just like, "What the fuck?" And,
and the Legend of Korra as well.
The Legend of Korra, no, but they were just holding hands at the end, and people were like, "Yeah, that's a good under."
I think it was actually confirmed in the end, though.
But I think in terms of stuff like that, though, it's like, you know, it's again, it's for kids and everything, guys, and you need to think about it. Not that I'm saying everything for kids has to be shit. You could have like Spider-Verse, which is for kids and everything, and adults, a mixture of both, but it is an animated like film at the end.
I think when something needs an R rating, you'll know.
You'll know. Which is why I think one thing I did get pissed about like was Disney Plus's like line, because they said, I think Bob Iger made it clear that everything on Disney Plus bar none is not going to be R. There'll be nothing on R. And they announced Blade and Moon Knight for Disney Plus. So it's like,
ooh, that's weird. Maybe this Joker film may sway them to put it on Fox or something.
Yeah, I know. As in like Blade is an MC. It's going to be MCU, but like it's Disney Plus.
But Blade needs to be R-rated, and Venom needs to be R-rated
because Blade is fighting vampires and shit.
And swords. Venom is this big thing that literally rips heads off.
Oh my god!
Like the reason, one of the main reasons Venom was shit was because you could literally see where they'd cut it out. Yeah, where they cut all the blood. When Riot goes into that thing and he like pulls his sword arms out and smashes everyone to the side and there's no blood, I'm like, yeah, come on, man.
At least X-Men films kind of had the balls to do it before they went through with Logan.
For Logan, yeah.
But it was like with R-rated films, that's what I was gonna get onto, was on the Joker, because in the Dark Knight that was something that Nolan was known for doing, and that pissed me off.
To be fair to Spider-Man: Far From Home, that was a bit bloody, and there was a few scenes in there where I'm like,
Nightmare Fuel.
That was quite intense. Like even being hit by a train and the gun, the ending. I feel like when Mysterio went to like shoot him, I feel like that was like one of the most intense Spider-Man scenes.
Yeah, I know, but even then, that's like half of the course for a PG-13 film. As PG-13 does like span a lot of ages. But the thing is, with the Dark Knight, what messed me up was the fact that any kill or any action scene in the Dark Knight, and I think Rises was a bit more explicit, but in the Dark Knight it kind of messed me up. Like the Joker, you know, for example, you know that one scene where the Joker went to that leader of that gang and then said like, you want to know I've got these scars, and then he does the knife thing and then he like puts his like mouth there, but then it cuts and he suddenly is dead, and you're like, the fuck did he just do to him? Because of the way it was cut. Because you can't kill someone by just doing like thing that just hurts a bit. Like it's a bit boo boo on your fucking lip. But like,
yeah, I mean, it is a nitpick. Right?
Yeah, I know it is a nitpick though. I was just saying that, you know, stuff like that is like Nolan's editing and everything. But I think what the Joker did well was that it worked with its rating. It wasn't like, well, we're R-rated now. Let's just say fuck every sentence.
It wasn't. Yeah, there was no need for like over the top shit. And
it wasn't even over the top as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's the scary note. It wasn't even over the top.
Has there been a bad R-rated film?
Yes.
For hero films since Deadpool. I'm trying to think.
There hasn't been many R-rated films that are like that.
I'm trying to think. There must be one.
No. Deadpool 2, Logan. You got Joker. Superhero films in general.
I swear there was one more which we're missing out.
What else? Okay, so has DC dropped anything R-rated? I don't think they have.
No. Oh,
Suicide
Squad?
Suicide Squad wasn't R.
Really?
Nope.
Oh jeez.
It was 15 in the UK, which everyone was a bit weird about, but it was PG-13 in America. Same with Venom. Venom was 15 in the UK and it was PG-13 in the Americas. No, but I don't think we have anything R-rated. It does ring a bell though, and I feel like shit because I do remember there might be something that was R-rated that was shit.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something out at it, but
it might not have been. It might not have been Marvel or DC. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. It might have been because I know in terms of R-rated like comic book stuff as well. Because you had like stuff like Dread. Like Dread was amazing, but no one watched it. Mm-hmm. But I think in general, I think R-rated stuff has been treated well. It might be Hellboy.
That's the one.
Hellboy. Yeah, I remember Hellboy.
One. Yeah.
Oh dude. God, I remember. We've all forgotten it because no one went to watch Hellboy. It was that bad. It came out this year as well.
Did you see it?
I saw it, but I walked out.
Really?
Yeah, I walked out of the screening because tickets are like £6 anyway. I don't care if it's like lost on it, but I was like, I cannot finish this.
I remember sitting I think I've ever given this story before. We were sitting through Transformers, the one of the fucking dinosaurs, and that was like 3 hours long. I sat through that whole fucking film, dude.
I applaud your tenacity.
Was no one but me and my friend in the cinema, so we were just like fucking around in the cinema whilst Transformers were on.
But
like we were literally like, he was the other side of the fucking room of popcorn, and I was the other side. We were just lobbing popcorn
at each other.
But that was like ages ago, man. Like, there's nothing worse than sitting through a 3-hour film in a cinema, which is shit.
Yeah, no. Oh my goodness.
Horror films can make up for it.
Horror films can make up for it
because they're funny when they're shit.
Yeah, I think what messed me up, what properly messed me up in terms of films and cinemas to watch in terms of horror was Pet Sematary.
You not like it?
No, it was no. The film was shit, but like there were so many jump scares that like the jump scares didn't get me. They more like pissed me off because I was so bored while watching it. I was like, I whipped out my phone every time there was a jump scare. I count it. I had to stop watching on my phone. I always like hit a lap every time there was a jump scare where it was like, yeah, cheap jump scare. Yeah. And it was like the thing I remember I was acting a bit weird during like, remember the Spider-Man Far From Home screening where I literally just had my headphones on the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think it's because I properly zoned out because of the film. I think there was something about like if I watch a film so many times in the cinema, if I'm watching any other film or anything, I would just completely and utterly zone out. And I was like it was, I think something about Far From Home or something. It just didn't really. The first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
You didn't like it?
I didn't think I liked Far From Home. Like I was like, I didn't fucking hate it, but I didn't like it.
I think it's like, I get shit for saying this, but I think it's the least rewatchable Spider-Man.
It's the least rewatchable Spider-Man film. Like,
yeah.
No, apart from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not rewatchable.
Yeah.
Like
Amazing Spider-Man
1 was then.
It's on. No, Amazing Spider-Man's worse than Spider-Man Far From Home. It is.
Yeah, no. They're both films are worse than Far From Home. But in terms of rewatchability, I can't.
Every time I think about Far From Home, and I rewatched it the other day, it gets worse.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying because I was like, I had that point earlier than you did because I was like, I can't keep rewatching it because there's some stuff in that film where
even Mysterio's not amazing for me. I've genuinely, when everyone was saying he was amazing, I don't know.
I didn't see what everyone else saw.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first saw it, I definitely thought it was cool.
Same,
maybe because of the visuals.
I think the visuals did it and everything, like quotability and everything. But that's what we could get onto that in a second, actually. But that's what most people like. They always go for these kind of Marvel films where it's like, oh, this thing is quotable and everything, and this thing is like, really that makes him a good villain if he says like quotes on camera that you could make a joke about on like social media. Which is what I was going to move on to that segue into like fucking stuff on Twitter surrounding like films in general. Remember that one statement that Martin Scorsese made about how Marvel films are not cinema, and then people got butthurt.
Like, who is he?
Who is Martin Scorsese? I was like, are you taking the piss?
Literally.
But to be fair,
arguably the greatest director.
Arguably the greatest living director right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, because
you could say he's of all time. You could, if you really wanted to.
If you really wanted to, because I'm trying to think, who could be better?
Then when people started like saying that shit, I just had to update his catalogue in my mind, because I know some of the great films he's made, but I really looked through it and I was like, holy shit, this dude has done so fucking much. Yeah, even some films I didn't realize he had directed. Yeah. It was like, what the fuck?
People tried to clown on him for taking like...
The MCU like has not even, in terms of quality, has not even come close to some of the films he's made. And I love Marvel films. But I understood his quote as well. His quote made fully
it made sense.
Like the MCU is like a roller coaster and a circus. Like it's how I look at MCU films is like comic book issues. I don't look at them as like really. The only one I didn't was Infinity War
and the Winter Soldier.
Infinity. There are probably a few more, like Civil War, maybe.
Nah.
Because that has like Winter Soldier, Infinity War,
Iron Man, yes, the first one.
Yeah. That's Guardians 1 and 2.
1 more than 2.
Really? I can get that.
Because 1 more than 2. I think it's because it felt fresh.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Winter Soldier, it doesn't. If you didn't watch the first one, you wouldn't really. It wouldn't matter.
And it would work as a standalone film as well. That's like an action film. It's like people saying like but it's like Mission Impossible, where it's like
So Guardians, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Infinity War.
Even then, I'd say Infinity War was like a blockbuster event. That's roller coaster.
Yeah, but it was cinematic wise, like even the cinematography compared to other Marvel films.
Yeah, it was like they turned it up to 11. Yeah,
it'll probably never reach that quality again.
Yeah,
unless. I don't know, something about Thanos is just so. Can you really get as good as
you can?
People used to say, "Can you get as good as Darth Vader?" And we did.
Yeah, but that took them 10 years.
10 years. No, 40 years.
It took them
fucking hell. And if Doctor Doom somehow is even close to Thanos, I'll be happy.
Yeah, not even that. I meant in terms of quality as well, because the problem with Marvel now in the recent news and stuff is like it just feels a bit.
Oh, it's. Every time I hear Marvel news, I literally cringe.
Yeah, every time I hear Marvel news, I just roll my eyes and just scroll.
Yeah,
keep scrolling.
It's like it is turning into like a political circus.
And it's not even that. It's just a circus in general. I just don't give a shit.
Like it's like, can you just make the fucking films now?
Make the fucking films.
Like I know Endgame. Wait, no, what was the last one? Far From Home.
Yeah, Far From Home is the.
Yeah, I mean that says it all. I genuinely can't even remember the last one.
Yeah, no, I was like, I see an Endgame as like the point. Like that's the point.
It should have ended at Endgame, but obviously money.
The balls that Disney would have had if they ended it at Endgame completely.
They could have ended it and then start it again in 10 years, or just take a 2-year break.
Take a 2-year break. They're going straight back into it next year.
Kill everyone and make it a 2-year break.
Yeah, no, because if you actually went, because Kevin Feige is now controlling the comics. Imagine if he did this before and killed everyone, and then treated it like the comic issue where they revive everyone later in another universe.
I think they just should have took a 2-year break. Like people say, Star Wars is coming out too quickly. How can people argue the point of it not being a roller coaster when there are in 2021 there are 22 there are 4 MCU films coming out with 3 fucking shows coming out. Yeah, it is a roller. It's comic book issues.
It's Disneyland. Are in Disneyland.
It may be a little bit disrespectful, but I don't know. They're just not. They aren't. Like they're just not cinematic pieces.
Because people know. No, I think people when it comes to cinema,
they feel cheap. A lot of them, they do feel.
Oh
cheap.
God, you've just awakened something about it. I think the argument that people say that it's cinema is that there's a difference between cinema, like kinos kind of stuff, and a blockbuster, a popcorn film.
I feel like the reason the MCU is really, really good is not because of the scripts. It's because of the actors and the casting and how perfect
actors and how good it looks.
Yeah, and how good the actors are. So take Wakanda for example. That is such an immersive part of the world. The actors in it fits.
But I think it's CG as well. I think it's down to the fact that it's the CG environments and everything.
It fits, and also. What I'm trying to think of another example of like a good atmosphere in terms of like the MCU. I can't say Asgard because that's dog shit.
Yeah. Titan and Infinity War.
Titan, yeah, for real. It's like it's like the picture and how they look and the fact it's literally a comic put into a film. Yeah. That's what's so immersive about it. It's not the scripts. I don't think there have been many interesting, like if you really want to think about it, there's no stories. Like as in the Infinity War was a very interesting story, but when you
that carried over as well.
But let's talk like when you really get down to the bare bones of MCU films, they are quite generic.
They're generic and they're samey and they're safe.
They're safe, and that's what I think Joker did well. But even then, the Joker didn't exactly have a new story.
Yeah,
it was just,
and it's not even that they played it safe. They didn't even play it safe as well. Like they could. I think the only time where I thought that they were like, oh, they might have done this a bit overdoing it was when they tied in the Bruce Wayne thing at the end.
The last superhero films I can say that didn't play it safe and actually tried something different is obviously Joker, Infinity War, and Logan, and Deadpool.
Yeah, but I think it's because the balls on. I think it was down to the fact that they had to suffer for it as well. Because people seem to, it's like the money. Money is always the most important part of any thing. It's like,
I just think it's fucking nuts.
And the reason why they play it safe as well is also because they have to like appeal to places like China as well. Because China allow fuck all.
It's fucking hilarious that people are like, fuck China, fuck Riot Games. Well, not Riot Games. No, everyone that actually likes Riot for some reason. Blizzard. Yeah. Everyone's saying fuck Blizzard, but now I'm gonna go watch my MCU film.
Yeah, but I think the thing is with Blizzard as well. To be fair though, if we're are we segueing to this kind of?
I'm still not done. I'm still not done.
Okay, yeah, I'll wait until you're done. But I do have a very good point about Blizzard. Like, I was gonna say that with Blizzard, I think it's down to the fact that one of the players in their own tournaments did express support for the Hong Kong protest, which caused Blizzard to ban him and then start banning people, and it starts a big snowball effect. So by BlizzCon, we're going to be seeing people with Winnie the Pooh outfits, and I can't
wait.
That's going to be really funny.
I genuinely want to turn up in like a full-on fucking. Do Hong Kong have an international football team? Because if they have,
they do.
I mean, I'll buy their kit and go.
Yeah, buy their kit and
just turn up as like a full kit
and the fact that it's red, just paint your skin like thing.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. I think it's crazy that anyone can argue against the point of it being a roller coaster. He wasn't even saying they were bad.
Yeah, he was just saying that they weren't cinema. They're not.
I would love to know what film he watched to have this opinion, though. I reckon it must have been a while back. I'm genuinely going to say it's like 4-2, like Dark World.
Yeah.
And people, I know a few people are going to get pissed, and I think it's like what I say here. I feel like I'm like I've watched every MCU film multiple times.
Yes, same.
Like
same.
I have read like quite a lot of the comics, not too many. I keep up to date with the universe, but currently it's just hard to look at because it's like a political circus. Jeremy Renner is apparently putting guns in his wife's mouth.
Gwyneth Paltrow's got that goop thing that was going on.
It's like I mean, I don't know. I just, it's something about it. DC, as much as the fans are annoying, are doing something better right
now. Because
just
Warner Bros. That's because Warner Bros. Fired the fuck out of everyone who was in DC.
Yeah,
like,
but
the best thing they ever did.
But it's also like, all right, this is gonna sound bad, but every time, like say Miss Marvel for example, it's like it's big because it's diverse and it's stuff. And my problem isn't that I care about that. It's my problem is I just want to see the film. I don't want to see these. I just don't want to see the news stories because I feel like there's just so many.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's bad. That may be bad. Maybe that's just me being a dick.
Yeah.
But like, I just want to see the film, and I just want like, I don't know. I just want good films, and it makes me. I'm so tired of seeing the political arguments in Star Wars on both sides because I just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
At this point, like it's just cringe. It's just cringe.
It's cringeworthy.
Like the whole thing is. To summarize it, is just cringe.
Yeah, that's the key word.
It got kicked off by I think Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I swear to fucking
Black
God.
Panther kicked it the
I
fuck
swear
off.
to God, the cast were even annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen that video of what's the main guy's name? The main actor?
What, Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
When
somebody goes up to him and does the
Wakanda Forever, you'll notice
and he's like, fuck.
Yeah,
this
but
shit,
you'll
dude.
notice that in all the pictures,
Yeah,
like
he
film
looks
came out, he was doing it, and then as time went on and more people
His
did it,
face
it was
just
like
dropped.
Yeah, his face dropped, like, and you can see his like visible bags under his eyes as well.
He must have wanted to fucking kill himself when a white guy goes up to him. And
hey, Chadwick, Wakanda forever. It's like, and then he's just like, hey, yeah, Wakanda forever. And then when he tries to promote any other film he's in, and they tell him to do Wakanda forever, like he tries to
imagine he's in some like 1940s horror film, but they're like, can you do that Wakanda thing?
couldn't do a thing, and it was like, hey, we're here with the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, and then he looks at it just like, oh, he wants to die right
You've
there.
Gotta feel like, I do feel bad for some actors that don't choose to be political figures, but they get made political figures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Chadwick Boseman wanted to. I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know the guy. But from his facial expressions, I don't think he, as much as people put it out there. Like, I think it's cool. Like, I remember when Black Panther came out, and there was genuinely a lot of racism surrounding it.
Yeah.
But like, I thought it was cool. Like that there was like. Yeah, African Americans, just
and
in
not
general,
just
black
that,
people
and I think
have like actual representation.
And not even just that. The film was like, just say what you will about it, but the film was actually really good. I've made it. People are going to say, oh, you're preaching to choir. You said the film's overrated. No, I said it's overrated for different reasons, but it's still enjoyable. I never said I didn't like it.
I think I've watched Black Panther more than most MCU.
Because Black Panther is enjoyable.
And they have a good villain in it.
And they've got Claw and Killmonger, and the soundtrack is good.
Yeah, it's a good Marvel film.
Like, if you want to be on the polar end or the other end of the spectrum, you've got Captain Marvel on the other hand.
Which is fucking shit.
It's actually...
it's the worst film since... I think maybe it's not. Samuel Jackson is sick. It's pretty.
It's a phase 1 film stuck in phase 3.
It was so out of the fucking blue. Like, if you realistically think about it, Captain Marvel did not need to be an Endgame. Like, that ship could have went down another way.
Okay, the ship could have went down another way, and the fact that that one scene, even though I felt good representation for all the female superheroes in the whole scene, that still felt like.
So this is my argument. I think representation is actually a really good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah, obviously.
But it's like, I'm tired of seeing the arguments about it. Is what I'm trying to say.
And it's the same tired arguments every bloody time.
Yeah. What's the point in feeding the troll? Like, that's what I say.
What's the point?
Like, just like, if you want there to be like an Indian superhero or an Asian superhero, just do it.
Just fucking do it. They're not being like, oh, we're doing this for like, you know, like this. I think what I don't get is that just fucking do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
Don't just do it. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Don't make a big fuss about it. Do it, and then you're the film has been released.
Like when Shang-Chi starts getting put into development, I just know it's going to be like both sides of the spectrum. It's going to turn into some political warfare probably because it's the first Asian superhero film. But Shang-Chi actually has a cool story.
There's been another one.
Oh.
Maybe it hasn't been Marvel, but it has been a couple of...
What?
No, I mean like Asian.
No, I mean the first Asian MCU superhero film.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, because in the age of Twitter and stan culture, you're gonna get a lot of those. I can't wait for 2021.
I hope it's not this big political shit fest. And you know, like it is weird that there isn't an Asian superhero. To be fair,
it is.
Like when you really think of like, even when it comes to black superheroes, like there was definitely a problem. Even with women superheroes, there was a problem with representation because obviously it was like a white guy every time, and they were also like American always. There hasn't. If we want representation, where's the fucking British superheroes? Where's Captain Britain?
That's a good shot. Like
there is no British superheroes. Thor's not even British.
It's fucking Asgardian. Yeah, it doesn't even count. It sucks.
There is no British superhero other than Captain Britain, who apparently is actually a part of the MCU. He's canon.
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem is though. Yeah, like when you get British actors and you make them do American accents.
Yeah, I mean,
because people will put, it's like a weird thing. People associate British accents with villainy. So,
I mean, we are the most villainous cunts on the planet, you know.
Well, I thought Americans are.
I don't know. I feel like Britain kind of run everything.
But I think it's preaching to a choir when you got an American person playing a hero to the American people. So
yeah, for real. I mean, Shang-Chi has a cool storyline, and it's going to be the Mandarin as well. So that'll be fucking.
That is true. Imagine the Mandarin with Ben Kingsley again.
Oh, it'd be so cool.
And Ben Kingsley wasn't actually an actor; he was doing it for real, and it was a double bait.
Imagine that would be cool. But I wonder who the Mandarin actually is going to be.
Yeah.
But that's stories I am looking forward to. Doctor Strange and Wanda teaming up would be kind of a cool one because they for
maybe he did confirm Korg's coming back, but what the fuck?
I just saw Natalie Portman's back, and I was like, that was something I wanted to talk about. I found that really weird that everyone was hyped about Natalie Portman coming back because I thought everyone was like, we were all mutually agreed. We all sat back, shook hands, and agreed that Natalie Portman was shit in 4, and she also agreed because she hated 4. And then when she came back, because we all thought because when we saw that she was in Endgame, and obviously it was like just using old recordings, we all were like, oh, that's really weird.
They actually let her in.
But now she's back.
And she's going to be Thor? What?
Yeah, I mean, that does happen in the comics, to be fair.
I know, but
I just think it's a weird situation because I thought she hated the 4 franchise, and I thought everyone thought that she was a bit shit in 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And, maybe she could get a revamp because Chris Hemsworth got a revamp.
And also, to be fair, Patty Jenkins was going to make Thor like The Dark World. What? She was going to direct it.
Oh, really?
Patty Jenkins did it, and then something happened. Marvel creative differences because the previous CEO was shit.
Jesus.
And then Patty Jenkins went and made Wonder Woman. So who wins that? Who wins that?
Decent film.
Exactly.
Made $1 billion, right?
No, 800 million. The only DC film that's made $1 billion is Aquaman, and The Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight. Those are the only two.
Aquaman made $1 billion.
Aquaman made $1 billion because James Wan was directing it.
Oh, fair enough.
James Wan is a money-making machine.
Yeah, he's decent, isn't he?
Have we done this for 50 minutes in?
No, seriously.
We talked about this for so long. We said, didn't we say?
It's a pretty big topic.
Yeah, I know. Didn't we say before we even started recording that
to be fair, there's been a lot of fucking shit.
All roads lead to superheroes as well. There's been loads of stuff. There's been loads of stuff that's been going on. Yeah,
I mean, I do want to talk about Star Wars, but not today.
Yeah, I think we'll save that for another episode, which would come actually soon because we've got time to record now. So
yeah, I mean, just ending the debate though about I mean, maybe I think that because obviously 4 in general, it wasn't just Natalie Portman. 4 in general was shit. The franchise was shit.
Yeah,
Chris Hemsworth was not.
He did not enjoy it. He hated it.
I think it maybe is unfair to say the actors were shit. I think the scripts were shit, and the directorial vision was shit. That was what was bad about it.
Kenneth Branagh did do a good job with the first Thor, but people thought
it was okay, but it was too like Shakespearean.
Within continuity, that's because Branagh is like a play director that's done Shakespearean plays.
Yes,
so it was like when I saw that, I was like, this is a decent film, but it's the fact that everything else has come out in the MCU afterwards.
Yeah.
If you have to think about contemporary audiences, they fucking love that shit.
Yeah, for real. So to end it, is it a roller coaster? Yes, it is.
It damn well is.
A lot of the films are cheap.
It is a blockbuster there and then.
Doesn't mean I don't enjoy them.
It doesn't mean you don't enjoy them.
Doesn't mean they're not bad. Doesn't mean they're not good.
Scorsese did not mention the word bad. Did not escape his lips in anything. And the thing is, he was asked on his opinions on Marvel films.
Yeah,
he was asked. He didn't say Marvel films are shit.
and also, if he did say they were shit, well, okay, that's his opinion.
It's his opinion, and also it's Martin Scorsese as well.
He can fucking say that guy has contributed more to film than most.
And he knows when he's been in shit. His only acting role was in Shark Tale. He knows when he's been in shit. Legit. He hasn't. His first and last acting role in any film ever in his whole career was Shark Tale.
That's brilliant.
And I just think that is great. He's done so much for the film industry and the TV industry as well with directing shows.
He's just done a lot for media in general.
Yeah, a lot of
really
media.
Cool guy.
And people are like, let's invalidate him. And Tom Holland is the best actor ever because he cried to Disney that he's not going to play Iron Boy for another film. It's like, it's a controversial thing to end the podcast on.
And then when it comes to diversity in Marvel films, it's obviously a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of the fucking arguments.
I'm tired of the just shit flinging and everything.
It's literally like, I mean, mean, I get why some people argue. When there's actual racism,
yeah,
because when Black Panther came out, there was
because people were like, "What did these?" Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but like it was like these kind of people was watching our film.
When there's actual discrimination, then yeah, I get it, like, but and it's really like then you should go ahead. But like the debate of like, oh no, Brie Larson said this. It's like I'm so bored.
Brie Larson's been used as a mantelpiece for feminism, and like, he's talking about feminazis
like
and stuff.
At this point, I reckon Brie Larson literally just baits.
No, Brie Larson's definitely baiting.
Daisy Ridley is a troll too, dude.
Daisy Ridley,
she literally said that she doesn't know she said she didn't know what the phrase Mary Sue was, and then she was like, she was like, I looked up the phrase Mary Sue, and then she said it was sexist because there's not a male version. There's a male version. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
There's no fucking way she doesn't.
She didn't know that. I just refused. And then she went back and said she doesn't know what Mary Sue is again. So I fully believe she is a troll.
Or Disney's telling them what to do. PR team. Their PR team.
Yeah, people really are stupid in believing that Disney don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, Disney always do this all the time. They have their hands in all the actors and like actresses.
People really underestimate Disney's
like in the film, not just Disney's power. Yeah, they underestimate their power, but like it's like Disney in general, film companies in general, they have to keep a leash on the actors because they could say some shit that will damage the film. Like in the long run, it happened with Woody Harrelson. It's happened with some people. So it's like
he's the guy.
So Woody in Zombieland, but it was something before because the film company told him to do an AMA on Reddit, which was about like. AMAs means ask me everything, ask me anything. People were asking him anything, but every time he said it, it was like, let's talk about the film that I'm going to be starring in that's coming out in a week's time. Every single question. And that pissed everyone off. Yeah, like Rampart, I think. Jeez. He said like, oh, but enough about that. Let's talk about Rampart. Like, ask me a question about that. And people have hated Woody Harrelson on Reddit on that because that was the shit. Like, I think it's a meme, but like, that's what happens when a PR team has too much control on what actors have to say. So
yeah. So in conclusion, we don't hate Mal. We if anything, we like them too much.
You like them too much.
Yeah. But I'm the most critical of them.
Yeah, no.
You can like them but still be critical of them. I don't really like Far From Home that much anymore. Captain Marvel is shit.
Yeah, I'd say I'm going to turn it to the audience saying like you guys like it too much. You are like invested in it way too much for like.
Yeah, maybe take a step back and like go watch Inception.
Or make a step back and just watch something else that doesn't have superheroes in it.
Go watch Fight Club.
Go watch fucking El Camino. Like watch Breaking Bad and then watch El Camino and then watch it.
To be fair, I still need to watch Breaking Bad.
I know, but exactly.
But like, I'm not trying to be condescending, but I'm literally saying, go watch some like actual real art pieces out there.
Like watch actually like art films.
I genuinely believe that's why a lot of these MCU fans say this shit because they haven't seen.
Because
they've grown up with these superhero films.
Exactly,
they've missed out on these 20-year-old films.
But that's what Disney wanted.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Disney wanted.
Fight Club came out 20 years ago, a few days ago, and like if you haven't seen that film, what the fuck, man?
Like it's like when people say, oh, I don't want to watch the film Seven. You know Seven. Well, people say I don't want to watch Seven because Kevin Spacey's cancelled. So it's like,
fuck me, dude.
That's what's happened with social media. You like, let's not watch a film because it's cancelled.
Let's not watch a film because there's one guy in there did something really bad,
and he's not even marketed in the film at all.
Jesus.
Like you ruined the reveal by knowing that he's in the film because he's been cancelled.
It's. I mean, there are just so. I mean, people even when they talk about horror. And some people say that horror's always been shit, but I'm like, you haven't even watched old horror.
And you haven't watched quality horror films as well. You've always always gone to Netflix and then gone through like the horror.
Go watch like Alien or something. Like
actually go and watch a good horror film. You know, there's stuff like IMDb. You know, there's stuff like Letterboxd.
I feel like IMDb is a very reliable website. I think that's
IMDb is reliable when it wants to be, as in
when you don't go on the created list.
Don't go on the. I think one thing you shouldn't go to on IMDb. Don't look at a film's ratings. Wait about 3 months for an actual accurate reading into the rating. Even that, people don't seem to understand. Actually, click the rating out of 10 and then look at the rating distribution.
Yeah. So
if
there's a million on 10 star and then there's like 50,000 on 7 star and they're kind of like,
and then there's a million on 1 star as well. Yeah, you need to ignore 10 and 1. Yeah. Always go for the ones.
Go for the mid range. Go for the third option.
Yeah, go for the just look mid range when you look for reviews in general. Or what you should do is that follow a review or either watch the fucking film yourself.
Watch the film.
Watch the film yourself or go to a reviewer that you know and trust can make good reviews that are objective about the film, and if they have opinions about it, don't parrot it, but take that into account.
What would you say, like, to end this podcast as like the top 3 films made since 2007?
2007, Jesus fucking Christ. That's actually a choice from how I have to really think about that one.
You really got to think. I think Inception's definitely.
But then again, I'd say
I'm gonna put The Wolf of Wall Street in there.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street was well with. The 2007 is hang on.
I want to say The Dark Knight, but I'm genuinely not too sure. It's my favorite film ever made.
What do you mean? Because I think in terms of films in general, I've seen some really, really good films, but
you can't include indie films.
I can't include independent. So you mean blockbuster films?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nolan's made Dunkirk. I'd say Dunkirk's his best film.
I've seen that about.
I think Dunkirk is Nolan's best film.
It is a good film.
Yeah,
it is a fucking good film.
Mad Max Fury Road.
No, I've never actually really liked it too much.
Really?
You thought I was going to say I'd never watched it.
I was about to say
I've watched it about 3 times. I've never been a big
I think
fan.
it's because
visually it's insane.
Honestly, I'd say because I was almost like on the mini like verge of, like, I wouldn't say tears or anything, but I was like, I can't believe I didn't experience this in cinemas.
Fucking hell. I do kind of want to put Logan in there.
I'd say put Logan up there.
Logan, Wolf of Wall Street, and
because I need to really think. I've watched a ton of films since
Inception.
Then, so if you want to,
I'm gonna say Logan. Like, I know Logan isn't
but I say your favorite films of like since 2000.
I think Logan. I don't know. I'm sometimes considering putting Logan ahead of The Dark Knight, but then I rewatch it and I'm like, I'm
gonna say something. Honestly, I'm gonna be a ball. Into the Spider-Verse, I'm gonna put on the top list.
See, I actually did think of that. But I don't know. I think I need to watch it a few more, like 10 times.
I've watched it so many times, and as an animation student, I watch it, and it's fucking eye candy. Yeah.
My friend didn't watch it because he doesn't like the frame rate on it. It's literally a form of fucking animation, and he didn't. That's why he didn't watch it.
Oh, the frame rate is lagging. I want it in 60 FPS. Like Gemini, man.
Has anyone remade it in 60 FPS?
People have done clips in 60 FPS and it looks like shit because it's interpolation. It doesn't work. You can't make a clip in 60 FPS like that.
Yeah. I mean, So what was yours? What were you gonna say?
I think Into the Spider-Verse was the one that I was gonna be like, that's one I wanted to put at the top.
I do think Wolf of Wall Street is like a masterpiece.
I think Wolf of Wall Street was amazing. It's
one
a brilliant film.
One of the best films ever made.
Jump Street 1 and 2. The Jump 21 and 22 were on
best comedy films made.
Into comedy, yes, definitely. I think they're on the top. I think they're
Superbad, Jump Street.
Shit, 2007 was a long time ago, and a lot of films have came out since then. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, I think Superbad and 21 Jump Street. Although I'd argue 22 may be better than 21. I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
It's a stronger. I haven't watched them in a while.
I think 22 had much stronger laughing scenes in the first half. That first half was so funny.
Are they making 23 or the?
They stopped because it was going to be a Men in Black crossover. Remember what happened to Men in Black?
So maybe they should just make a third film.
Yeah, it was Men in Black 23. It was called Men in Black 23.
Why did them two not do anything else together? Because they're fucking funny together.
No, it's not that they don't want to. It's that Sony were like, oh, we hate money, so let's make Men in Black International, and that flopped.
Was that
the Chris Hemsworth and thing? Yeah, they chose that instead of Men in Black 23.
Why would you make Men in Black without Will Smith?
Money, because they thought they could do it without Will Smith.
But like, you can't. It's Will Smith's thing.
And then you did it with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Like, no offense to them, but just because you saw them in Ragnarok, they fucking don't work together, man.
Yeah, no, they don't. Maybe Chris Hemsworth would have suited it.
No, but that's
maybe
the thing.
She would have suited it by herself.
No, but that's the thing. Chris Hemsworth, it doesn't, as a leading role in a film, he doesn't work. He only works in an ensemble.
I've never seen him in anything else other than 4.
Cabin in the Woods, he was really good. Like,
he was in Cabin in the Woods?
Yes, he's the guy. He's the biker guy. He was the biker.
I need to rewatch that now.
Like, no, he's one of the main characters.
That film is so fucking weird because am I thinking about the right one? Where there's the monsters and
shit?
The
monsters and
I remember watching it and it was like
I remember watching it for the first.
I'm gonna rewatch that.
Yeah, no, watch it. It's genuinely a good film.
It's
a horror film. It's a comedy horror film.
It's so out of nowhere.
Because the whole thing happens. You'll realize this if you rewatch it. You'll then realize as it goes in, like there, you'll notice that the whole thing was there. The whole cabin was run by those people all the way underground who put monsters and ghosts and like literally spawned them in. They spawned them in to like terrorize them and kill all of them to give a sacrifice to the people on the bottom floor.
So mad.
I was like, That was a fucking mad storyline.
So we'll rate. We'll to end this. We'll rate by genre. So comedy, we're going to say 21 and 22 Jump Street.
21 and 22 in the past.
Horror.
Yeah. Horror. Ooh. No. I'd say no. I'm not even going to lie. How I didn't like. I think with it was
Sinister.
Like, Sinister. First Insidious as well.
Oh, that was trippy.
The first
Insidious 1 and 2.
2 was
you know,
shit.
like 2?
2 and 3 was shit.
3 was dog shit.
3 was. I remember rewatching.
The ending of 1 though is that. Wait, I'm thinking of when she's dead, right? When
she strangles her because of the picture, and I was like, I remember.
I get goose. It's still scary to watch. And
the first Paranormal Activity came out in 2009.
I've never been a big fan.
The first one though,
it was
first
okay
one, with a $15,000 budget. I was like, what? Yeah, the first one was.
How did they get that in cinemas?
The biggest.
Did it get bought out?
It had no. Paramount distributed it. They took it like he gave it to Paramount. And they were like, this could make money. It's the biggest return on investment in a film ever. It cost $15,000 to make
that franchise soon.
They are. They announced it.
They may as well, because like it's watchable.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, $15,000 went into the film. 250 million came out.
I saw that film in cinema with my parents. No, but Sinister for me. There have been some good horror films in the last 10 years. There have been. There's just some really shit ones, which that is horror in general. You're going to have millions of shit films, but then you get a few golden ones. I guess it can't be up there. It's not really scary. And then, so we're going to go for Sinister and Paranormal Activity for you then.
Yep.
And then what about superheroes? Logan or The Dark Knight. That's like
Logan.
That is like Coke and Pepsi.
Yep.
I'm gonna say The Dark Knight. But I think Logan's probably a better film. Action. You're gonna say John Wick 3.
No, Mad Max. I'd say Fury Road, Mission Impossible.
I want to say Winter Soldier, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
I just know it's not because it's not. It's a good film though. I mean, Mad Max is probably. John Wick's good though. Can I say John Wick 1?
Yeah, John Wick 1 was amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to say John Wick 1.
I'd say The Raid for me.
Alright, I'm going to say John Wick 1.
Yeah.
What are the other genres that we haven't covered?
Well, animation.
Or Spider-Verse.
It's
got to be.
Although 2007 was a long time ago. A lot of animations came back since then.
Transformers.
But I think
fucking hell, Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007, didn't it?
Yeah.
What else is there? We need to go. There's probably a couple more.
I don't think because if
type
you
in
do
film genres. Type in film genres.
Okay, yeah, 1 second. Because the thing is, I have to also look towards the other side because my PC started to fucking like die. Right, film genres. We've covered all of them: horror, comedy, sci-fi.
Interstellar.
Maybe. Okay.
Or Inception.
Yeah, maybe. War. What Dunkirk?
Oh, Dunkirk. Yeah.
Thriller.
I guess
Joker. You could say Joker if you wanted to. If you wanted to, psychological thriller.
Oh, that's Joker. Yeah.
Mystery film.
Although Shutter Island does exist.
Oh, and Scorsese was good in that. He did.
I think I prefer Shutter Island. I'm gonna go for Shutter Island over Joker.
Yeah, loads of yeah. That's pretty much all of them. We covered all of them.
Shutter Island's a fucking good film.
But yeah,
how can people not listen to that man? He made so many good. It's illegal how many good films that guy has made. It's actually frustrating that people don't listen to that man because Tom Holland is Spider-Man. I'm sure even he's like they probably all fully acknowledge that it is a roller coaster. Like he didn't say that. I don't know.
But do you think we should call it because it's been an hour and 7?
Let's call it a day.
So yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of the Coffee Club. Yeah, we're finally back. In it's going to be available on SoundCloud or the listening one.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I've got another thing coming soon. You should probably keep an eye out for that one. And I guess follow us both on Twitter and make sure to subscribe to the channels and everything because we're actually uploading now. So
yeah, we will.
See you in another video. I'll see you in another podcast in a few days. Yeah. See you guys.